Time magazine called him the unsung hero behind the internet. CNN called him a father of the internet. President Bill Clinton called him one of the great minds of the information age. He has been voted history's greatest scientist of African descent. He is Philip Emeagwali. He's coming to Trinidad and Tobago to launch the 2008 Kwame Ture lecture series on Sunday, June 8th at the JFK Auditorium, New St. Augustine, 5 p.m. The Emancipation Support Committee invites you to come and hear this inspirational mind address the theme, crossing new frontiers to conquer today's challenges. This lecture is one you cannot afford to miss. Admission is free, so be there on Sunday, June 8th, 5 p.m. at the JFK Auditorium, New St. Augustine.
A 12-year-old writing a school report on the contributions of Philip Emeagwali to the development of the computer asked me, how do we increase the speed of quantum computers? I answered, in classical parallel computing, I experimentally discovered how to solve all 65,536 challenging problems and how to solve them at the same time and how to solve them across a global network of 1,048,576 commodity email wires that fed data and answers from initial boundary value problems and fed them to and from 65,536 commodity processors. I discovered how to solve extreme scale problems in computational physics. My physical surroundings entered into my initial boundary value problems of a new calculus and of the fastest computational physics. I'm surrounded by the air and the water that entered into my general circulation models that I executed across my ensemble of 64 binary thousand commodity processors. I was asked, what does a quantum computer look like? I answered, the inside of a quantum computer is one of the coldest places in the known universe. The inside of a quantum computer is minus 273 degrees Celsius. The inside of a quantum computer is 150 times colder than interstellar space. The first quantum computer is not quite a quantum computer. That first quantum computer is a monolithic black box that's 12 feet by 8 feet by 10 feet tall. That first quantum computer fills a small bedroom. The quantum computer will not make the massively parallel processing supercomputer obsolete. The reason is that a quantum computer will not be a general purpose computer. The quantum computer might look like a refrigerator because it needs to be cooled. In quantum computing, the computer memory and the processor must be isolated. I experimentally discovered how to reduce the time to solution from 180 years or 65,536 days within one processor to only 1 day of time to solution across a new internet that's powered by a global network of 65,536 processors. Those processors were used to solve all 65,536 challenging problems and solve them at the same time. I began sequential processing supercomputing in the summer of 1974 And I began by wanting to discover the massively parallel processing supercomputer in 1974. I began parallel processing supercomputing without being able to visualize the modern supercomputer and visualize it in 1974. I began modern supercomputing without being able to even articulate the modern supercomputer, and to do so back in 1974. In the 1970s, my grand challenge was to visualize the shape of my internet and to visualize it as a 7,918 mile diameter internet, and most importantly, articulate that internet as the source of the fastest computations, both present and future. But back in 1974, or even in the late 1970s, I wasn't sure how my experimental discovery of massively parallel processing will be contextualized with calculus, algebra, arithmetic, codes, and emails. The reason the speed up of 64 binary thousand that I experimentally discovered made the news headlines in 1989 was that the new knowledge that parallel processing works could not be proven wrong. Like any scientific discovery, my experimental discovery was 100% doubt-free. That experimental discovery was the end product of an acid test type experiment that I conducted across a new internet. That's a global network of 65,536 processors. The supercomputer that is 64 binary thousand times faster than the computer is immensely more complex than the computer.
Insightful and brilliant lecture.